Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sal Warner. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope you're doing well and everyone is keeping good and everyone's keeping fine. Thank you, everyone who's joining me today and everyone who has, who's back on the show. Who's back on the show? Big up, Sniper Man. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is doing kushti and stuff like that. All that in between, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the stream. Absolutely. Now, please, before I start, don't forget to subscribe and smash a like on the video. It's very important. We smash a like on the video. That'd be fantastic if you guys can do that for me. Brilliant. Guys, look, I'm going to start off by this. Obviously, there was a news about Inos who are backing Erik Ten Hag. Of course, there was a lot of news coming out today from various outlets that, obviously, people tend to treat this backing thing like a vote of confidence. But the vote of confidence, it doesn't exist anymore. There's no such thing as a vote of confidence anymore. Basically, Ineos are backing Ten Hag. They do believe that he hasn't got his full team out yet. There's 25% of the team that is not back, of course, and players are not fit, of course. So at the end of the day, what I would say is that brilliant. You know, it's really refreshing that Ineos are backing him so early, and they've actually gone out their way to back him early. I like this. I do like this because in the past, you know, we've been second guessing what's going on. Has he got the backing? Has he not got the backing? But it seems like he has the backing and they understand what it's all about. At the end of the day, in regards to football, in the past, we haven't had this type of structure before. So whatever happens above, we never knew what was going on. And we weren't confident in regards to their actual knowledge in regards to football. And this is what it was back in the day. We didn't have that, you know, that comfort, that reassurance, the knowing that these guys at the top know about what football is. And at the moment, you know, it seems like they do. And they've given it the backing of Erik Ten Hag. And to be honest with you, I'm going to have to agree. Hello, how you doing, Darkro? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me, my friend. Sniper Man, big up the legend. Sniper Man, hope you're doing well. I think we should bench Mainu sometimes. Mate, we need a squad. Of course we do in regards to that. But I'm going to speak to Mainu about Mainu in a bit. Mainu's too much as a 9-year-old. He does absolutely agree with that, my friend. And Casemiro is, after all, a Real Madrid player. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Danny B. Look, at the end of the day, look, a lot of people are screaming out to rest Mainu. And I absolutely agree with that. At the end of the day, you know, and because the reason I do is because he is 19 and we are burning our players out. Not only Kobe Mainu, there's other players that we're burning out, and we have to be really careful the way we handle these players. Now, in my opinion, I would probably play Casemiro and Ugarte against Southampton. It wouldn't be a bad idea to rest Mainu, wouldn't it? The only problem is if we did rest Mainu, wouldn't the backlash be too much? You know what it's like on that match day when the team gets leaked an hour before the game? You know, everyone has their opinion. Everyone jumps on the back of a Ten Hag that their favourite player is not playing. We get it all the time, innit? So at the end of the day, now that he dropped Ahmad, he's left himself in a position that if he drops Mainu as well, it's going to be a bit like, you know, what is he doing? What the hell is going on here? You know, it's just going to pile up the pressure. Big up, Kazi. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining the stream. My friend Hayden, the manager hasn't had a full run of games with this team, but people would never overreact. Of course, this is the way people are, unfortunately. It's a fickle world at the end of the day. We've had people like Graham Souness again is talking again. Graham Souness is talking again about Manchester United players. And in particular, Kobe Mainu this time, a young player, is saying that he's overrated and we expect too much for him. You know what, I'm really tired of these talk sport journalists, these ESPN FC journalists talking about our players and not talking about them in a positive light. Do you know what I mean? The guy's a kid. He's playing for England. He was one of England's best players at the European Championships. Let's not get it twisted. He's 19 years old. And we got dinosaurs like Graham Souness who are talking about these players again. They just need to mind their business, to be honest with you. Concentrate on yourselves and leave our team alone and stop doing that. Big up Sniper Man. I don't want Casemiro to leave like Ronaldo. Well, we'll have to wait and see, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the season, there's going to be a lot of things going on at the end of the day. So big up yourself. Michael, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining the stream, my friend. Stretford Post, not Stafford. I don't look like a Stafford, do I? A staff. Big up. Kazi, only 3 games in and Man United just overreacting, stop smoking. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I absolutely agree with that, Kazi. You know what? There's a lot of people. It's not only that, mate. It's about those people who were Ten Hag out. And those people who were Ten Hag out, you know, they're always going to be Ten Hag out. You see the difference between Ten Hag out and Ten Hag inners. Look, I wouldn't class myself as a Ten Hag inner. I class myself as a Manchester United inner at the end of the day. And what I've noticed about everything is that Ten Hag outers won't change their mind. And I'm not talking about the ordinary Ten Hag outers who look at things like constructively and logically and stuff like that. I'm talking about the ones that have an agenda, the ones that insult the manager, the ones that insult some of the players. I'm talking about those ones. They don't change their mind. But in regards to Ten Hag inners, they do. You know, that's the difference between it. Big up, Grayo. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Afternoon out on Chatterboxers. Big up the Chatterboxers. Sorry I missed the morning show. Had to leave early for work. No problem at all, Grayo. Thank you so much for thinking about it. I really appreciate you, my friend. Thank you very, 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 very much. Brian, afternoon, Sal and Fellerez. Afternoon, Brian. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Do you know what? There's never a day that's quiet at Man United. There's always someone speaking about our club, isn't it? Where would these guys be without our club at the end of the day? They won't be speaking about Manchester City, that's for sure. No one cares about them. Do you know what I mean? Even me mentioning them then, they're probably double the amount of people speaking about them. Brian, afternoon, mate. Big up, Hayden. Mainu is overrated, but he's still better than Teen in the midfield, Trent in midfield. Look, Mainu is a generational. He's only 19. People forget this, you know. And he's playing, he's covering for Mainu. Half the time he's covering for Mainu at the end of the day. So you can't be saying that a player that is 19 years old, that plays for England, that plays for Man United regularly, is overrated. I just think that is sour grapes. I think that is bitter. Michael Arthur, IML Ten Hag, Stafford Post. At the end of the day, that is your prerogative, Arthur. If you are Eric Ten Hag out, that is entirely up to you, my friend. You entire, this is democracy. I'm not going to come out and say you should be Eric Ten Hag in. No, I'm not like that. At the end of the day, if you want him out, that's up to you. But what I'm talking about is people who come on their opinions, on their big platforms and start insulting like Peanut Head, like bald fraud, like things like that. That's the sort of things I don't like. That's the sort of things I don't like. So, but it is refreshing to have you on the show, to have a Michael Arthur on the show who is a Ten Hag out. A lot of people support Ten Hag on here, but we are very constructive on this channel. We do speak about the pros and we do speak about the cons. We don't just bring the positives. We're not overzealous in regards to the way we speak. We speak facts at the end of the day. And we criticize as well. So welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome to the stream. At the end of the day, but what I am positive about, what I'm enthusiastic about, is the fact that Ineos have gone out their way, Berard in particular, to back Eric Ten Hag. I'm happy about that. But Ineos have been speaking. Berard has been speaking about Eric Ten Hag. He's saying that we hope this is not the only window that we perform like this. We didn't get all our targets. They didn't get all their targets. It wasn't perfect, but it has been a really good window. And he has also stated that we hope that we have another window like this, which is really refreshing to hear. Because you know what? Back in the day when we had Jose Mourinho, when we had, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they have one good window and then they leave it. And they leave a job half done. And this is impressing me at the end of the day. This is making me like confident in regards to them. Because they're talking about the future. They're talking about future windows. Whereas Glazers, they never used to talk about the windows and stuff, the future windows and everything like that. They never used to do that. Big up, Grayo. Always back Ten Hag, but lost patience after the dreadful performance on Sunday. Probably my emotions were high, but if this form continues in the next 4 matches, then I don't know how I'll feel about it. Absolutely, and that is exactly right, and that's constructive, Grayo. After the international break, you know what we have. We have Southampton, we have Crystal Palace, we have Aston Villa, we have Spurs. Those games are tricky games. They're difficult games. They're not easy games. They're not the hardest games in the world, but it is a good test. And after those games, you would know where we are in regards to Ten Hag, because players will be fit, players will be back, hopefully. So at the end of the day, we fingers crossed we don't get any injuries in this international break. That's what we don't want. We don't want any injuries in this international break. Absolutely not, guys. So at the end of the day, look, it is about games, and it is what happens on the pitch. If he loses to Southampton, even myself, a staunch supporter of Eric Ten Hag, will find it hard to support. Will find it hard because Southampton, they should be put to the sword straight away. So if he does lose to Southampton, we know what's going to happen, isn't it? Kazi, Sal, streaming from a cafe with a fake Man United t-shirt, just bantering. Yeah, you wish. Kazi, yeah, thank you for joining the stream, Kazi. It's good to have you back. But yeah, at the end of the day, look, like it's international break, maybe that's a blessing, maybe that's a curse, who knows what it is. But at the end of the day, all I'm hoping for is that the players come through this international break unscathed and there's no injuries, of course, guys. So that is what I'm hoping for. Let me just read this one out. So basically, Ineos said we would be working closely with Eric Ten Hag to help get the best out of the team. So yes, exactly, and this is what I like to hear. Barada is confident he's got his full backing, and I like that, to be honest with you. I like the fact that they back the manager and they've made it vocal that they're backing the manager, not us second guessing what the Glazers thinking, what the Glazers going to do next, what's Murtaugh going to do, what's Woodward going to do. It was like that in the past, wasn't it? But it's not like that anymore, and I'm really proud that they have come out and said these kind of things, of course, these positive noises that I'm hearing. Darko, at least they communicated with the fans, that's more important. Exactly, Darko, and this is exactly what I'm saying. We haven't had this for a while. We're a bit not used to this, to be honest with you, this communication thing. What is that? You know, it's great that they're communicating with the fans, and it's great that they're making positive noises, and that can only reassure the fans, that can only reassure the manager as well, and it adds a better feeling, of course, across the club. Gray, apparently Casemiro didn't leave the stadium after the good time, but a rumour spread by journos. Is that true? If not, where did Casemiro go? I believe that Casemiro left after the game, as you do, but you know what the media like, they like to twist things. The only thing I would say is that Casemiro has been speaking about the tactics and stuff. I don't like that. At the end of the day, I do like players to go to the manager and speak. I don't like them to go to social media, and I don't like them to go to the media in general. Because, you know, we had this last season. We thought this was all over. We don't need this type of thing at the end of the day. We don't need people speaking. We don't. Go to the manager, speak to the manager, my friend. Do you know what I mean? Casemiro is a legend at the end of the day, and you know, he's very experienced. He should know that at the end of the day, and he should know that he shouldn't just be speaking behind the back. He should go to the manager and speak to him face to face. That's one thing I would say about that. And of course, his wife did post that picture of all the trophies he's won, which doesn't help Manchester United. Of course, we really respect Casemiro, what he's won in the past, but what does that do for Man United? That doesn't do anything for Man United, doesn't it? We don't care what you won at the end of the day. Let's be fair. Michael, the reason we are in the bottom half of the Premier League and we lost Brighton and Hove Albion and Liverpool, Stretford Post, the reason we are in the bottom at the moment, it's only 3 games, Michael. Things can change at the end of the day. If it gets to 4, 5 games and we're still down there, then you can start saying that. At the end of the day, this is a new structure. We have completely changed from the end of last season, and we have to give it time. You cannot be sacking managers after 3 games, especially if you gave a public backing only a month ago or so. You know, so you have to understand that you have to give the manager a chance to change it. So after the international break, we have 4 games, very difficult games in my opinion, against Spurs, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, you know, Southampton, that we, to be honest with you, will give us a good test. Southampton is the one we should win. And as I said, if we lose to Southampton, and then you're going to have to ask questions, of course, because Southampton, they have a far weaker squad than us. But I don't think we will. I do think we'll go on a run. I do think we will end up winning a few games in a row. And I think we'll be in a good place. And then a lot of people will start to change their tune. Of course, results on the pitch, it does add to positivity. And people do change their opinions. Kazi, the previous regime was only about taking dividends from the club and rinsing the life out of the club. Absolutely, yeah. And there'll be no dividends this time, although dividends will be paid in a year or so. But at the end of the day, look, this is better. I like the fact that they're communicating. That's one thing about it. They're giving open backing to Eric Ten Hag, which is great. As I said, some people will say, oh, that's a vote of confidence. And you remember back in the day, there used to be the dreaded vote of confidence. That doesn't exist anymore. That's something that happened in the past at the end of the day. Hayden. Casemiro knows he's getting dropped, so he's talking his issue from now. Do you know what? If I was Casemiro, I would think like this. At the end of the day, Mainu needs a break. Why not play Casemiro and Ugarte? You know, why didn't they play? He doesn't know that he's going to not play. You know, at the end of the day, we cannot keep playing players to the bone, basically, burning them out. You know, we can't keep doing that to these young players at the end of the day, guys. Grayo, the whole Casemiro situation unfortunately reminds me of the Sancho and Ronaldo when they just wanted out of the club, and he's using the same tactics. So, opinion, guys. Absolutely. You know what, Grayo? You know, these are the type of noises I just didn't want to hear about. We wanted Casemiro sold in the summer. This is probably why. Casemiro left the stadium in the FA Cup final because he was left at the FA Cup team, of course. So he left the FA Cup final. So this is nothing new to Casemiro, of course. My advice would be to Casemiro, when we lost to Liverpool, a young player called Collier came on the pitch and he done very, very well. My advice to Casemiro would be to set an example, mate. You'll set an example to the young player. That young player needs you more than you think. You know, stand on the touchline, give orders, give him confidence, give him a hug him, say, go and get it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Casemiro is our most experienced player in that squad when you think about winning and Champions Leagues and stuff. So he should be out there setting an example, not leaving pitches, not going and leaving the ground and stuff like that. Look, we know you've won loads of stuff around Madrid, but at the end of the day, you're playing for Manchester United now. Try and do something for Man United. Make a difference. Be an influence. If you can't be an influence on the pitch, be an influence off the pitch. That's what I would say. Grayo, come on guys, smash a like. Well, thank you so much, Grayo, as usual, you absolute legend. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, please don't forget to subscribe and smash a like on the video. That'd be absolutely great if you guys can do that. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, so at the end of the day, look, I like Casemiro. He's a fantastic player. He's been a fantastic CDM. His old career, he's a generational CDM, one of the best CDMs in the past 10, 15 years, of course. So at the end of the day, I respect him, but you have to still set an example. You are not exempt from criticism. You are not exempt from any form of criticism in regards to leaving the stadium. You don't leave the stadium. You sit there on the bench and you support your teammates. We were going through a hard time. It'd be great if you just sat there and you supported your teammates as well, of course. Ashwood on Sancho and McTominay. Ashwood has said that Sancho and McTominay wanted to leave the club. They wanted to find different avenues. They wanted to find different clubs and wanted a new challenge. So this puts to bed the fact that they were pushed out of the club. McTominay and Sancho, they wanted to leave the club basically. We are not, and they basically said, we are not in a position where we are kicking players out the club. That is a very, very important quote there. So Man United are not kicking players out the club. They are actually listening to players. If the players want to leave, they're more than welcome to leave. And it looked like Sancho, McTominay and Aaron Wan-Bissaka wanted to leave the club. And you know what? That's good because they weren't kicked out of the club. A lot of people were saying that they've been kicked out of the club. This is out of order. They're kicked out of the club when they're not. McTominay's joined Napoli. It's fantastic for him. Sancho has joined Chelsea. I didn't want that, but good for him. Let him do what he wants. I hope he fouls at the end of the day. So, guys, yeah, at the end of the day, look, the way they're talking, they're talking a lot of positivity. They're making a lot of positive noises in regards to Ineos, and I like it, to be honest. I love the communication, and this is really good. And the public backing is great as well. I like that as well. Whether you agree with it or not, the public backing is only going to help with Manchester United. Why doesn't the manager give time to Wheatley? I said I wanted Tony and didn't give him and many as well. Use Wheatley, give him a few minutes. The thing with Wheatley, you know, Hayden, I think Wheatley is a really good player. And the thing with the Wheatley, he's big, isn't he? He's big for his age. He's quite a unit for his age. And I don't know why he hasn't been given a chance. I feel like he would have been more of a presence up front. You know, more of a vocal point when we're trying to pass. Instead of doing this false number 9, instead of Xerxes doesn't come across as a striker. He comes across as a more outside of the box creative player, more like a Firmino sort of player, if you know what I mean. Not hate to mention a former Liverpool player, but that type of player, if you know what I mean. So I feel like a Wheatley would have been good. It would have been great if he got some minutes against Liverpool. I would have done that, to be honest with you. I would have brought him on, give him some minutes, absolutely. Baftam, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Work time stream. How you Sal? How you doing, my friend? I'm very good. Bath time. Thank you so much for joining the stream, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to spread the word about Chatterbox and Breaking Dawn, guys. It's great to have you here. I really appreciate you being here. And let's build it up. Let's build it up. Let's build up the numbers. Let's keep subscribing. Keep spreading the words. You know, it helps immensely. Thank you, guys, for joining. Big up, Bath time. Yeah, Hayden, I agree, mate. And I don't understand why Amas has been disappeared. We have weaker sides. Next, I would give Collier, Amas, and Wheatley a go. Absolutely. Hey, Grayo, this, you know, it's baffling because Amas was playing in the pre-season, you know, and he played well. To be honest with you, he was one of our shining lights in regards to that. And I was shocked that he wasn't in the squad. A left back, we need a left-footed left back, and he's not in the squad. This is the kind of thing that makes us question. We do question when players like Wheatley and players like Hamas are left out the squad. You know, well, Wheatley wasn't left out the squad, but he hasn't played yet. It's a bit baffling to me. I think Erik Ten Hag is playing it too safe. I think he is playing it too safe. We're the only club who plays it this safe. We play it so safe, we're not taking risks at the end of the day. And I feel like I was disappointed in regards to Amas, and especially everyone knows who's been watching this stream, I'm a big advocate for Harry Amas. Absolutely huge. And I feel like Harry and Mass deserves a chance. I feel like Wheatley deserves a chance. I feel like if we play them, what can we lose at the end of the day? When it was 10, 15 minutes at the end of the Liverpool game, what can we lose by bringing on Wheatley? We can't lose anything. The only thing is we're going to gain, because at the end of the day, he's going to come on, he's going to get a feel for the game, get a feel for Premier League football, and he's just going to get more experience, of course. He's going to be experienced. So Wheatley, so Harry and Mass, of course, Shea Lacey, I would like to see brought into the team. Fletcher, I like to see brought into the team. I like to see these players brought into the team as well. Grayo, Sal, Amas was brilliant in pre-season. I thought and more than deserved a chance. Absolutely, especially the fact that we don't have a left back. It just doesn't make any sense that we're playing square pegs in round holes, just because that Amas isn't experienced enough. He couldn't have done any worse than what happened at the weekend, of course. He couldn't have done any worse than that, and neither could Wheatley. I would have at least brought on Wheatley with about 10, 15 minutes to go to get him a feel of the Premier League football, of course. Very rate for a 17-year-old defender to get minutes in the Premier League. I can literally only think of Barry in the last 30 years. Oh, Gareth Barry, good old Gareth Barry bath time. That's a blast from the past, of course. Aston Villa ended up playing for Manchester City, of course, played in midfield as well. I didn't like Gareth Barry. I was a big no for Gareth Barry. I remember me when I used to watch England games and stuff, and he used to play every single game, and it used to drive me mad. I remember Gareth Barry, decent player. I remember he had the record amount of appearances in a row, never got injured as well. Do you remember that? If you're going to praise someone like Gareth Barry, you can at least say that, he didn't get injured. He was always in the pitch, know what I mean? And that's one thing about him. I do remember that, though. That was a big one, to be honest. Do you watch alongs for Manchester United matches, Stretford Post? Absolutely, Michael. Every single match we do watch alongs here, and we're very objective. We do talk about good things. We talk about bad things. Like, we've had people in this chat who are watching the Liverpool game along with me at the weekend. It's good fun, mate. Come along when we're doing the next game. Of course, we've got Southampton. I'll be doing a watch along for that as well. So come along, make your opinions. At the end of the day, it's about opinion, and I like differences of opinion, because at the end of the day, none of us are the be-all and end-all of knowledge at the end of the day, and it's good to get different opinions and different contrasts, of course, in regards to Ten Hag, etc. It's crazy that Villa had Barry, Ashley Young and Milner, three of the oldest midfielders ever. Absolutely, they produced some proper old players, haven't they, back in the day. One thing I would say about Aston Villa, every time I think about Aston Villa, I think about Dwight York. I don't know why. Why would I think about Dwight York, At the end of the day, I think about Dwight York, I think about Paul McGrath as well. Whenever I think about Aston Villa, I think about these players, a bit of nostalgia. Do you know what? Aston Villa are a fantastic team. They're doing very, very well. I rate them very, very highly. I am absolutely delighted for Emery. Of course, Emery, it didn't work out for Arsenal. I think he's a very, very good manager. Absolutely, very, very good manager. And at the end of the day, best of luck to Emery. You know what? If it never worked out for Erik Ten Hag, do you know what? Emery would be one of the managers that I would like at Man United. He's tactically astute. He knows what he's doing. Graham, my friend, the next 3 matches would be ideal to give the youngsters a chance. They cannot play worse than the usual suspects, making us look like a joke. Do you know what, Graham? We got Barnsley in the cup, and that would be one to look out for, of course. What team is going to play against Barnsley at the end of the day, because Barnsley, it's just like watching Brazil. We all remember that, don't we? It's just like watching Brazil. I remember they beat us 3-2, and you remember that game, 97, 98, wasn't it? When, oh my goodness, they beat us 3-2 and stuff like that. Yeah, we've had some bad games against Barnsley. We had some good ones. We won 7-1 against Barnsley at Old Trafford. Who remembers that Giggsy goal when he bent it in the corner? Do you remember that one? Absolutely brilliant. So I'm looking forward to that Barnsley game, because, he might bring in some players. He might bring in Wheatley. He might bring in Amas. You know what? I will try and bring in some of these young players. Play the full youth team and see what you get. Sir Alex Ferguson used to do that. Yes, we used to get slapped in the face. Sometimes we used to lose to York City 3-0, for example. But you always find that player, that 1 or 2 players that are going to make it, But you have to give them a chance. Dion Dublin, absolutely, former Aston Villa player. Big up Dion Dublin, because in 1998-99, they defeated Arsenal 3-2. At Villa Park because of Dion Dublin. Big up Dion Dublin. Of course, we signed him for £1 million from Cambridge United. Sadly broke his leg. It didn't really work out for him at Southampton. He broke his leg and it didn't really work out for him. Of course, he ended up going to Coventry City as well, of course. So, you know what? Ended up being a very expensive striker. We all know that he used to play in defence and he used to play in strike. One of the few players who could play in defence and strike. He did for England as well. It's highly underrated, Dion Dublin. I will be in Blackpool on holiday, Stretford Post. No problem at all. Enjoy Blackpool, my friend. Is it your first time in Blackpool? I've never been to Blackpool, if I'm being honest. I haven't been there yet. Would love to go. At the moment I'm in the Middle East. It's a bit difficult, but yeah, I would love to go to Blackpool one day. I've been to Burnley, if that makes a difference. At the end of the day. John Gidman, of course, John Gidman. Yes, absolutely, Brian. You're coming up with the old school. The old school. You know, the old school. The old school. You know what I mean? Bath time. Why do you think Villa have done better than us after being relegated in recent times? Players, fans, manager, etc. I just feel like, and I'm going to be honest with you here, it's a mixture of things. Now, look, you can put that Aston Villa side and pull it in Man United's team. You can get Emery as well. The thing with Aston Villa and Man United, they're two completely different animals, and I feel like the weight of Man United, the pressure of Man United is so extreme. You know, that players just can't handle the pressure. It's too much pressure. Look at players like Rashford. They can't handle it. Aston Villa, there's less expectation. You know, so they're playing the underdog, right? This is my theory on it. This is just a theory that I'm using. You know, it doesn't mean it's gospel. I just feel like that just the weight of the shirt at Man United is very, very heavy, much more heavier than Aston Villa, for example. You know, and that's why I feel like they're doing well. But if you look at Aston Villa, will they go over the line? Will they win anything? No, they won't. They won't win anything. This is the thing, guys. They won't win anything. So this is the thing. They'll do well, but they won't win anything. And we all remember in 98, 99, who was top of the league in the opening few games of the season? One for you, Aston Villa. Of course, Aston Villa were top of the league and they were doing very well. Aston Villa have always been a great club, of course, unlike Arsenal. They've won a European Cup, of course, so there you go. Let me have a look. Bath time, we are a cup team now. Can we even risk stuff against Barnsley? Look, I would Bath time, I would, because we should be beating Barnsley with our youth team. We should be. At Old Trafford, we should be beating Barnsley with our youth team pretty comfortably. I'm not saying play a complete 11, but I'm saying play about 5 or 6 young players, get them in a team. Wheatley's good enough. Wheatley would walk into that Barnsley team. Harry Amass would walk into that Barnsley team. Even Rice Bennett, players like that, they'll walk into that Barnsley team. Shea Lacey will walk into that Barnsley team as well at the end of the day. So we've got to give them a chance. Big up Stephanie, sorry, excuse me. Big up Stephanie, see what you do to me. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Thank you so much, you legend. Thank you guys, absolutely. 55 likes. Brilliant, 55 likes, brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. Keep pushing the likes. Let's see if we can get up to 100. I know it's going to be a low chance of getting to 100, but let's see if we can push it up to 100, guys. Let's see if we can do that. I doubt it, though. Can you do it? Can we do it? Darko, Sal, no manager at United is doing what the fans want them to do. Like not playing certain senior players, playing youngsters and making the early substitutions. At the moment, every manager has their philosophy. Every manager is stubborn, especially the big managers. They're very stubborn. That's why they got to where they are, because they have that stubbornness and they don't listen to every fan that they speak to. But the thing with Man United and thing with Man United fans, we generally know what we're talking about most of the time, you know, and we believe in the youth and we believe in bringing through young players. You know, I feel like we have to have legs rather than no legs. At the moment, we got no legs at the end of the day. So at the moment, we need to think about, you know, playing players who have energy, playing players who've got talent, who need to be given their chance, who need to develop. You know what? Collier, you know, he's coming through. He's already made his debut. You know what I mean? That's another one who comes through that great conveyor belt of young players throughout the 100 years of Manchester United. And another debut for a young player, and he done very, very well. This is why I was disappointed in Casemiro, because Casemiro should be given an example to people like Collier, you know, and he didn't, you know, walking away, like Craig David walking away, it wasn't the best thing to do, of course. Bruno told the Portuguese media that United aren't good enough to contend for the Premier League title. He has given up already. I don't like this, to be honest with you. If this is true, Almac, I don't like this. Whether it's true or not, maybe he's right. But at the end of the day, why does he have to talk about it? And then they think about your own game. Stop talking about what's going to happen in the future. Think about winning football matches for Man United. You know, at the end of the day, think about winning football matches for Man United. If he said that, look, he's realistic. At the end of the day, yeah, he's realistic. He's just saying it as it is, how he feels. Bruno is a very emotional guy. But what I would say to these players, including Casemiro, including Bruno, just be quiet. Just be quiet. Stop talking about what we're going to do, what's going to happen, are we going to win the league, are we not going to win the league? Especially talk about you know, I mean, Man United, you know, and what we aspire to be. Don't say we can't win the league. We can't. I mean, it's just not. I mean, it's too early. You know, obviously it's a low chance for some people may say that, but at the end of the day, look, just be positive at the end of the day. Hayden, I think Mari is a better left back than Hamas, but the gaffer has decided he won't play any of them, which actually blows my mind. They should be on the bench at least. Murray's a fantastic talent as well. Harry Hamas is a fantastic talent. And what baffles me, my friends, is that we need a left back. You know what I mean? We need a left back, and basically these guys are not. You know, they're not even in the squad. What's going on with that? What's going on? I don't understand what's going on with that, to be honest, guys. You know, I mean, I would put them on the bench rather than Ericsson and players. I put more youngsters on the bench than better. Big up Kazi, big up Stephanie, big up everyone in the chat. Bath time. I blame Yabba for infecting me with poor enunciation. Sorry, my eyesight's going a little bad. Enunciation. Yeah. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Yabba has crimes to explain. Exactly, mate. I mean, you've lost me, to be honest with you. But Sal, what we doing? What's going on, Mark? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. Mark in the house. Mark, the legend in the house. Absolutely. Grayo, Colin Gibson and Mark Bosnich. Colin Gibson and Mark Bosnich. Mark Bosnich, yeah, absolutely. Played for Man United twice, of course. Of course, it took us ages to replace Peter Schmeichel. When Peter Schmeichel left, we had Mark Bosnich, of course. And at the end of the day, didn't we have Raymond van der Gaal first? Then we had Mark Bosnich. I think it was both at the same time. But we had Mark Bosnich for the second time. And it took us ages to replace the goalkeeper. This is what I mean about Onana. Just because Onana is a goalkeeping signing doesn't mean it's going to work. And I don't think it's going to work for Onana. I really don't. I think we do need another goalkeeper in there. Unfortunately, the way it is, I'll try and get Kova back myself, guys. Absolutely. Big up, everyone. UEFA games. I've got my tickets. Where they? UEFA game. Big up, Mark. Which game you going to, my friend? I've got my tickets. Which game you going to? Rangers would be a massive game. You know, that game is big. Are you going to Turkey? Big up. I bit young leg off to find out what was said at half-time with that Casemiro and Ten Hag. Absolutely, and rumour is that they've fallen out. Of course, we got this same old rubbish that the players are falling out with the manager, media are jumping on it, the same old rubbish. Souness opening his mouth about Mainu, this. It's the same thing over and over again. We don't catch a break. Give us a break in regards to that. Keep your nose out of it. These media outlets, just keep your nose out of Manchester United's business. We are the best at producing young players we have been for the past 50, 60 years. So in my opinion, for Graham Souness, yeah, he better show some respect to Manchester United, because at the end of the day, he would have none of his European Cups if it wasn't for teams like, well, if it wasn't for Manchester United. So I guess, Souness, you should just keep your dinosaur mouth closed in regards to Kobe Mainu and players like that who are 19 years old, and stop talking about our younger players, because at the end of the day, just because Liverpool are not producing any that play for England, just keep it quiet, yeah? You know what I mean? Mark, hello again, boss. Big up everyone in the chat, of course. Big up Stephanie, big up Mark, my friend. Stephanie, big up Grayo, big up everyone, of course. Big up bro, big up everyone, big up mate, all the family in the house. Sup, Keza, big up Mark. Don't forget to subscribe. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Mark. Yeah, Mark N, mate. Don't forget to subscribe. Anana in the chat. No, Anana's in the chat. Who's Anana? Which one's Anana? Brian Froscat, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Yes. Stephanie Griffith, Fly on the Wall documentary. Fly on the Wall documentary. Oh, yeah, mate. Listen, if I was a fly on the wall, imagine, if you were a fly on the wall, which room would you go into? From any era. From any era in history, if you were a fly on the wall, which era would you go to, and which room would you go into? Tell me. I got a few, to be honest with you. Which rooms I'll be? What's up, Aidan? Big up, everyone. Big up. I got a few, to be honest. I got a few rooms that I would like to be in. Absolutely. My ultimate dream, Steph, is to see what Keno said on MUTV. I bet it's incredible. Keenan Alex Ferguson would have been a good one. Keenan Alex Ferguson, absolutely. Big up Grayo, absolutely. Stephanie, big up everyone in the chat. Big up Grayo, Stephanie. Afternoon again, everyone. The legends are in the chat today. Let me just get to big up yourself. Did you see the stuff about Rabiot bowed out on a transfer a few years ago because of what he was said on MUTV? I faintly remember that. In regards to Rabiot, I'm going to bring in Rabiot actually. Funny enough, Rabiot is not going to Manchester United, just to confirm. We all sort of believed it, but his wage demands are astronomical. His wage demands are astronomical, and we can't afford his wage demands. And not another team. Other teams can't afford his wage demands either. At the end of the day, he's wanting too much money, and we can't afford that much money at the moment. But you know, we live to fight another day in regards to the transfer window. Conor Gibson signed Ron Atkinson, I think. Wow, that was a long time ago then. Absolute long time ago. Bonji's got arrested on his wedding day for Class A drug offence. He's so insane. You know what? People forget about this. You know, remember Bruce Grobbelaar as well. You know what I mean? Liverpool, a bit bare dodgy team, isn't it? Remember Bruce Grobbelaar? They should have got Liverpool relegated for match fixing. Do you know what I mean? Nothing sinister, of course. Kazi. Bayern there, absolutely. Bayern there should be playing more football. I remember watching both Colin Gibson and Terry Gibson play for United. Terry Gibson, absolute legend. Met the guy a couple of times. He goes to Epping M&S. You can go to other outlets as well. He goes to Epping M&S. I used to see him there for his shopping. Terry Gibson follows me on Instagram. Love him. I might get him on the show sometime. Why don't I get him on the show sometime? I might try and get him on the show. He does the old Spanish football now, doesn't he? Terry Gibson. Hayden, with Rashford, people said he doesn't play, and Roy Keane said he needs to simplify his game now. He passing the ball a lot, has stopped running the defenders. He crosses the ball, but people don't attack it. Yeah, with Rashford, people said he played. But at the end of the day, Rashford made 2 crosses, good crosses. You know, our standards have gone really low. We're bigging up 2 crosses from Rashford, of course. Only one I can remember in regards to Xerxes when he hit it straight. It goes a good save at the end of the day, you have to admit. But yeah, you know, we're digging. We're digging here. We're digging. Shooter should be named Sourness. You know what? I just fed up with ex-Liverpool players talking about Man United. I'm really fed up with those guys talking about Man United. They have no right to be talking about Kobe Mainoo. He has no right. Right, he has no right to be talking about our young players that we're bringing through. Where are your Liverpool young players, mate? Where is Mr. Jones in the England squad, mate? Where is it? What's going on with that then? Talk about your own team, mate. Don't bring us into it. Man like Mark, absolutely legend. That is Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney. Oh yeah, brilliant. Nostalgia. At the end of the day, we didn't know how good we had it back then. We had it so good. Treble winning season. Absolutely brilliant. I was there, and I never forget. 1915, Enoch West and Billy Meredith find the truth if he did it or not. That's a good one, mate. That is an absolute good one. Big up bath time, absolutely. Do you know what I would do? And I'm going to say it like this. You know what I would be? George Bush and Tony Blair. That's all I'm going to say. You can work out the rest yourself. A decision to sell the club to Glazer scum, absolutely. Yeah, that was a terrible time. Terrible one. I mean, we blame Alex Ferguson for that. Well, it was Sir Alex Ferguson's doing, wasn't it? Because of the horse and all that, you know. And at the end of the day, you know, if anything, you know, it hasn't tarnished his legacy, but, you know, it is a big thing and it has harmed us over the years. But I won't hold that against him. He gave me some of the best moments in my football life. Do you know what I mean? So he gave me the best moments. Fergie scoring a direct hit on Beckham's eye. Oh, that would have been good, to be honest with you. That would have been good, absolutely. That would have been good. I would have liked to see that. I know that Beckham got a big up the Leighton Stone massive, which is me, Leighton Stone massive, David Beckham, big up David Beckham. I would have liked to see that, definitely. Come on, guys, please smash the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you so much, Grayo, you legend. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the stream, you legends. Brian, Sal, your channel is growing. I need to help Mark in the channel. I'm always open. He's been on the channel many times, guys. My channel is growing the same as Mark, the same rate. We're going up the ladder. You know, we're the next ones through. We're the class of 2024. We are the class of 2024. We're going up. And don't worry, just like United View, just like those other channels, we are uniting. We're going to make an entity like that, a big entity that we're going to compete with the big guys, because that is the aim. And you know what? You have to unite in this game, and we have to keep pushing everyone, guys. Absolutely. We have to keep pushing everyone. That's what it's all about. Thank you, Brian, though. Thank you, Brian. The support means a lot. It's very easy to jump on the bigger channels. It's very hard to jump on up-and-coming channels, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you. Maria Noiki, afternoon, Sal. I'm not active today, but, you know, I could continue. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing well. How are you feeling? I hope you're good. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the stream. You legends, you legends. Bath time seems to have gone under the radar, but Lou Macari said on MUTV that he wasn't impressed with Rabiot, and that's why Rabiot changed his mind about Murto and was touring apparently. Well, you know what I mean? I mean, Lou Macari, he played for us in the 70s, mid-70s. Obviously got relegated with Man United, was okay, was a good player. But, you know, I don't know why he's talking about Rabiot. Why is he talking about Rabiot? Rabiot's a World Cup winner at the end of the day. Big respect to Lou Macari. Got nothing but respect for him as a legend, of course. But, you know, he shouldn't be really talking about Rabiot and players like that at the end of the day. It has nothing to do with that, of course. With him, of course. Real interactive channels are the future. Absolutely, real interactive channels are the future. We talk to everyone. I try my best to talk to everyone and speak to everyone on the chat, guys. Absolutely, I try my best to do it. Even though I lose my voice sometimes, I still get it out. I still have to get it out. I still have to read every single one of you. I appreciate every single one of you. It's definitely the way for the future. We are the future. We are the world. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Do you know what I mean? I don't know who's saying that, but let's start giving. You know what I mean? Feed the world was better. Stephanie Griffith, big shout out to the Man United agenda as well. Big up United agenda. Try and get them on the channel at the end of the day. Man United agenda. Big up Man United agenda. Big up all the channels. Big up everyone. And let's try and push these channels to the bigger channels and get these bigger channels talking about us. Talking about us, guys. Let's get that, yeah. Oh, thanks, Steph. Big up Bath Time. Big up yourselves. Absolutely. So, look, at the end of the day, look, it's the international break. I'm very disappointed it's the international break, to be honest with you, if I'm being totally real. But, you know, we got a time to reflect. We got a time to just sit back and recover from what happened at the weekend. The disaster, what happened at the weekend. We got Southampton. I can't wait for the Southampton game, to be honest with you. I really can't wait for these next run of games because they're very interesting games, you know. They're very interesting games. If we go and beat Southampton and we beat Crystal Palace or we beat Aston Villa. We beat Aston Villa last season, of course. Let's not forget. You know, if we go and beat them, then who knows what can happen. Football's all about the momentum at the end of the day. Football's all about getting the momentum and carrying it on. It's contagious. Victory is contagious. Winning is contagious. Losing is contagious as well. So we have to try and win those games. I mean, if we win 4 out of 4, a lot of people will be changing their tune, won't they? Hayden, Sancho FC acted like Ten Hag kicked a boot at his face. All he said was the kid doesn't give all his training. Absolutely. Which he doesn't. We've seen the proof. This push-ups and perfect. Absolutely, mate. And I posted that on Twitter. You know, and the people were going mad. I had Saeed against me. I had what was his name? That guy who looks like Skunk and Nancy. I had him against me. I had all of them guys against me. They were all on my case and stuff like that. You know, and they were shouting at me. You shouldn't do that to you. It's out of order. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You know, when people were criticising Maguire and all that, where were these people? Where were these people? You know, at the end of the day, it's just hypocrisy. And at the end of the day, what he did on the Twitter was wrong. And, you know, people have to hold it at the end of the day. You know, I bet some of these people are going to be watching Chelsea. They might as well buy a Chelsea shirt. I wouldn't be surprised if they already have. They might as well buy a Chelsea shirt and wear a Chelsea shirt at the end of the day. Because they're not supporting Man United, really, are they? To be honest with you, if we're being honest. We need a Luke Shaw fit. Absolutely. Goodness, God knows what's happening with Luke Shaw at the moment. Haven't heard about it. Hoyland should be fit for the Southampton game. We hope so. Fingers crossed. He should be fit for the Southampton game at the end of the day. I hope so. But I've got a feeling that Ten Hag won't risk him. I think it might be probably home to Tottenham. Probably home to Tottenham I would be looking at. Maybe that game, there's a few more games to that. We have to get him match fit, of course. We have to get him fit, of course. He's had an injury, a serious injury as well, of course. That's essentially Shanda. That's dangerous. Sancho's future career and earnings. It might be true, but it's idiotic to say stuff like that from Ten Hag. It's nothing, mate. That was absolutely nothing, Bath Time. Mate, have you seen what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do? What he used to say? Did you see what Pep said about Calvin Phillips? He said he's fat. You know, at the end of the day, you've got to grow up here. You're playing for Man United. You've got to be more about you than just cry if you get a little bit of criticism. Let me tell you something about criticism, right? Criticism is important in every walk of life. Criticism doesn't mean that you're hated. It doesn't mean that you're underrated. Criticism actually means that he believes in you. If he didn't believe in you, he wouldn't criticize you. It's just that you let him down. Erik Ten Hag gave Jadon Sancho 4 months of work paid. 4 months of work paid, right? Then he goes to Twitter and does that. Is there any excuse for that? Even if he felt upset about the tweet, about what Ten Hag said, go to Ten Hag, like a man, and go to Ten Hag and say, look, Ten Hag, I don't like what you said about me. And rather than going to Twitter, right? Rather than going to Twitter like a little wimp, right, and leaving it on Twitter for 2 weeks, go to him to his face and say, look, mate, I don't understand that. I want an apology. But at the end of the day, he knows he was right because he's not the first one to criticise Sancho. Let's not forget that. Let's remember Man City. Let's not forget Dortmund have criticised Man City in the past. Let's not forget England. All right. At the end of the day, he's no stranger to that. And I guarantee you guys, give it till Christmas. Give it till Christmas. Maresca will fall out with Sancho. Mark these words right here. Maresca will fall out with Sancho. Believe these words. Facts. Big up, Mark. Absolutely. Great minds think alike. Maguire is good in attacking game. He played well recently, I have to admit, you know what I mean? But he made the mistakes against Brighton, of course. But at the end of the day, we need to get De Ligt match fit, of course. We need to get a match fit. Big up everyone in the house. Big up Randy. Big up yourself. Thank you for joining me again, guys. Thank you for joining me. Absolute legends, you. Legends. We never give up. We win. If we don't, we go again. Absolutely lies around me. We keep believing. We keep fighting. I believe that with this positivity lies around me, with your energy, with your positivity, things can happen. Great things happen, guys, with the positivity and the energy. We have to remember that. Big up lies around me. You always come out with the positive vibes, mate. Absolutely. Bath time. Better apologise on it because it's ridiculous to say it. Drove his price down and it just pure dumb. When he did, Fergie do something like that with current players. Fergie done that. Fergie kicked a boot in David Beckham's face, mate. You know what I mean? And it was well over the news and stuff, and he didn't apologise, did he? You know what I mean? He didn't apologise for it. He kicked him out the club. That's what he did. At the end of the day, look, what Sancho did was wrong. Whether you believe Ten Hag was right or wrong, all right, that's a separate thing. What Sancho did, right, was wrong. And the reason it was wrong, it wasn't only against Ten Hag. When you write a tweet like that, you are going against the club, and you're going against the fans as well. You're disrespecting the fans. Now, if my boss gave me 3 months off work, paid when we needed him, I would keep my mouth closed and try and work harder in training. That's what I would do. That's what winners do. Maybe they would have won the Champions League if he was a winner. Again, buddy, pick up yourself because he didn't win anything last season. Ten Hag did. I think we need to give a chance to Bayern there, honestly. I agree, absolutely, Maria. I think that we don't play him enough. I think that Barnsley should be the game we give him his first chance. Let's see how he does. We've got Barnsley, of course. Hi, Stephanie. Big up, Stephanie. Big up, everyone. Hayden, if people never stuck it out Ronaldo after the Euros, he might not have the season he had. Pressure can be a part. Absolutely, Hayden. At the end of the day, sometimes criticism is a goal to make you improve. Without criticism, how do you improve? Someone answer that question. Without criticism, how do you improve? Ten Hag went up to Sancho. He's done it numerous of times. I've heard it from very reliable sources that Sancho just don't want to listen. So he's gone to the media and he said, look, he don't want to train. What's the big deal? He didn't train hard enough. And it was such a small thing. And then it was blown out of proportion into this big, massive thing, like he cussed his mum. It's madness, isn't it, at the end of the day, when you think about it? That wasn't him talking in the training standards of player, wasn't involved in the game to press. Mate, that's your opinion. I don't rate Sancho. I think let Sancho be at Chelsea. Let him do what he wants to do. At the end of the day, what he done was wrong, and I would hold that to the hill, mate, to the hill and back. At the end of the day, I just don't think Sancho has the right to do that. He hasn't performed, and he didn't perform for Man United. Not once. Not under Solskjaer, not under Ragnick, and not under Ten Hag. One hand you can count how many times he performed. Don't care about England, only United. So remember around 1996, United players warming up for the England v Poland at Wembley and getting booed at the England fans. Since then, I don't care. Oh, do you know what? Thank you, Brian. I was at that game. 2-1 against Poland. I was at that game. My school used to arrange games for England. I was at that game, mate. There was a big ball from Beckham in it, and then Shearer headed it, and it bounced in the goal. And then there was two goals from Alan Shearer. Beckham played. Yeah, I remember that. I also remember this. I went to England against Saudi Arabia at Wembley in 1998. 0-0, right? They were singing, "Stand up if you hate Man U." That's what they were singing at Wembley for England. You know what I mean? Come on. What? Madness, isn't it? And let's talk about 96, right? Let's talk about the European Championships. How comes Beckham, Scholes, Pallister, Bruce, all those players didn't play at Euro 96? How comes? At the end of the day, they were double winners. Well, how comes they didn't play? We have a history, don't we, mate? Hayden, Sir Alex kicked a lot of guys out of the club. Absolutely. That's the way you got to do it. You've got to be ruthless. You've got to be ruthless at the end of the day. I love the positivity, good sign, absolutely, Randy. Big up everyone, big up the positives, big up. It's about opinion at the end of the day. I respect every single one of your guys' opinions, and we don't have to agree all the time. Agreeing with everyone is boring. At the end of the day, we have to have differences in opinions. Fergie saw the kid at Yapstam, which now acknowledges one of his biggest mistakes. It was a big mistake. Yapstam went on to achieve great things at AC Milan. Didn't quite do it at Lazio, but AC Milan reached the Champions League final, won a Champions League final, of course. Istanbul, he ended up losing, of course. I was as well. I was at that game, Brian. What, the Poland one? The Poland one, I used to go to a lot of England games. I went to the Poland one. I went to England, Nigeria back in '94. I went to England, Chile. I went to England against Nigeria, yeah. I went to England against Ukraine, 2000. I went to a lot of games. England, USA, '94. I went there, after the World Cup, and England won 2-0, Alan Shearer scoring and stuff. I actually went to Steven Gerrard's debut against Ukraine at Wembley in 2000. I used to go a lot, but you know what? When I used to be on the train, because I'm from London, I used to go up on the train on the Metropolitan line, and you know what? I used to go with my Man United shirt sometimes. I used to go with my Man United shirt, you know what? Representing. And then people on the train would be singing, "Stand up if you hate Man United." And my dad would tell me to zip up my shirt because, you know, there were proper hooligans in there and stuff like that, and I was a kid. You know, and these sort of things, why? Do you know what I mean? It's just, that is what you call hatred. That is what you call hatred. Some fans blame the match-going fans. That's the reason United underperforming. You know, I don't blame the match-going fans, mate. Absolutely not. Our away fans are some of the best in the country. It's about time that those players started showing it. What I would say, Chow, those who know me, I tried to do a walkout at Old Trafford a few years ago. A few people walked out of the ground, the 58 walkout. Some people walked out, some people didn't walk out. But yeah, I tried to do a walkout. It just doesn't work, although it is heaven sent at the end of the day. But at the moment, we got Ineos, and we have to think about Ineos and let them do their thing. Let's see what they can do for Manchester United. At the end of the day, this is not the time to be doing that, you know, at the end of the day. Hopefully, in the future, Glazers will sell to Ineos, Chow. Hopefully, we pray. You know, and we get that, you know, we get that full sell that we've been after and we've been craving. Positives is good, but in some way it can hurt ourselves. Absolutely, Maria, absolutely. Positivity is good, but also criticism is good, guys. Criticism is good as well. Anyone who criticizes you, don't take it as a negative. How are you meant to learn without the criticism? We are the biggest club in the world and cannot be insulted by FC Sancho. Absolutely not. Forget FC now. Those who know me, guys, those who know me, and they know me about Sancho, right? Before Sancho signed for Man United, I was like, bring Sancho in. Bring Sancho, bring Sancho in. He's let me down. Rasmus, if Rasmus still on schedule to return after the break, how long for Lenny? And we have Ugarte. If Erik Ten Hag grows a pair and makes changes, then hopefully we can improve. Absolutely. It's down to Erik Ten Hag now to do the business, guys. It's up to Erik Ten Hag to pick the right team, guys. Pick the right team. Stop picking your favourites. Pick the right team. If a younger player fits in the system, pick a younger player. See what happens at the end of the day. We've got Barnsley. You can experiment in the Barnsley game. Of course. England-Chile, the game where Matt Latif's brother leaked the lineup on social. The game where Marcelo Salas, he kicked it long, and Marcelo Salas just made a fantastic finish. It went over, and he just kneed it, and on one movement, it knee kick, and it was a goal. Brilliant goal. England lost 2-0. My only issue with match-going fans is the absolute ticket mafia. Absolutely, the ticket mafia. Tickets. When you walk out of the tram, there's tickets. We know who. There's one guy who works on a big fan channel who used to do that. He used to do a little bit of that stuff. Not legitimately, by the way, and not reliably as well. Darko, Sal, sit down if you have started liking Arsenal. Oh my goodness me. I'm sitting down. I'll sit down as long as I possibly can. I don't like Arsenal. I don't. If you're a Man United fan, most of us don't like Arsenal. But one thing I would say about Arsenal and Arteta, that they've got them playing nice football. It's nice football. But then again, Arsenal have always played nice football, haven't they? They've always been that team who played nice little football, you know. But, you know, is it trophy winning football? Who knows at the end of the day, but they have done a good job. Arteta has done a good job there. They have. If it wasn't for cheating Manchester City, Arsenal would have won the league. Maybe once, maybe twice at the end of the day. So hopefully justice comes for against Manchester City, for the rest of the league, because we cannot take this cheating from Manchester City. You know, the sooner they do it, it's September now. The court case was supposed to be this month. What's going on in regards to that? We need to know what's going on in regards to those charges, because they cheated. They cheated, guys. You're trying to tell me that 2012, when Man City won the league, when Aguero scored that goal, right? When Aguero scored that goal in the last minute, right? That was a setup. That was a setup. I don't want to say anything sinister, but this is my opinion. I believe that was a setup. Even Paddy Kenny in goal at that time said he let the goal in. He wrote it on Twitter. He wrote it on Twitter, guys, that he let it in. And no one does anything about it. No one does anything about it. He said, I let the ball in, I let the ball in. And no one does anything about it. You know what I mean? That is the sort of thing we're dealing with. You know what I mean? That is the sort of thing we're dealing with. And that gave Man City their big break. That gave them their big chance. You know, because before you win the league, it's very hard to win the league because it's a mental thing as well. And that broke their cycle. That was it. You know, they broke the cycle and they won the league and they went on a run and stuff. Even though Man United won the league comfortably the next year, comfortably, 10 points, something like that. Even though that happened, you know what I mean? They still got that taste for the Premier League, you know. And when Sir Alex Ferguson left, you know, it just went downhill, hasn't it? What's the chances, do you think, of City being in the league at the start of the next season? I hope not. I hope absolutely zero, my friend, bath time. I hope absolute zero. I hope they have no chance of being in the league. They should be in League 2, playing probably my local club, Leyton Orient, because Leyton Orient are not doing too well at the moment in League 1. But yeah, they're probably playing them or Shrewsbury Town or something like that, or Dorking, something like that. I don't mind them playing there. They deserve to be down there. They deserve to be lower than that. They deserve to be banned from football. In fact, they deserve to be extinct. Forget them. They should get rid of them. We don't need another Manchester club. The league can do without Manchester City. At the end of the day, if Manchester City left the league right now, let's be totally honest, guys, right? If Manchester City left the league right now, would the league suffer? Would it? If Manchester United left the league, imagine Manchester United didn't exist. There'd be no TalkSport. There'd be no Sky Sports. What would they talk about? Southampton? What would they talk about at the end of the day? What would they talk about? They have nothing to talk about, guys. If Manchester City were relegated, right? Like, no one cares. No one cares about Man City. No one cares. They can leave the league. The league will still survive. Man United leave the league would die. The league would die. I'm telling you right now, if Man United left the league right now, the Premier League would die. Even though if we're doing badly, if we're doing good, look at our social media, look at everything, look at our numbers. You know, if we ended up like leaving the league and we got extinct, God forbid, or something like that, the league would die. Absolutely. Good afternoon, Deepfake. How you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for joining the stream. Thank you so much. It's good to have you back. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're covered from the weekend. Deepfake. Hope you've recovered, guys. J-Boy for kicked the ball out straight from a free kick and a QPR. It doesn't feel right, and I hate him for it. Actually, no. Do you know what? Bath time. They had numerous amounts of chances to kick the ball upfield, right, and hold the ball on, but they didn't. It was a setup. We all know it was a setup. We know. We don't even need that. Look at the tackle, the dead tackle that in the box when Aguero won. He just put his leg out slightly. And Paddy Kenny already admitted that he let the ball in, and nothing was done about it. And, you know, and to this day, I'm going to retweet that later on. Got conned out of £600 for 2 FA Cup final tickets versus Chelsea 2007. They were fake. We were not the only ones. I'm really sorry to hear that, Brian. I don't understand that fans who do that. I really despise fans that do that. That is disgusting at the end of the day. In 2000, when we played Real Madrid in the Champions League, when we lost 3-2 at Old Trafford, I had 3 tickets for the game against Real Madrid. I gave one to my pal, and I had one more left, right? So one for my pal, and you know what, I had one left. So a guy came up to me, and he was begging for a Man United ticket for the game against Real Madrid. He goes, please, we're brothers, please, please, please. So I said, look, I've got one more ticket, you can have it. And you can have it at face value. I sold it for about 65, 70 pounds, right? I gave it to him at face value, right? Real Madrid against Man United. Because he gave me this sob story, I felt sorry for him. I could have sold it for a lot of money, but, you know, we had a spare ticket. We only could get 3 at the end of the day. We couldn't get 2. So I had one more, and then when I went to the ground, when we sat in the stadium, right? When we sat in the stadium, another person sat next to us. And we were expecting the guy that we sold the ticket to. I sold the ticket to. We were expecting a guy that I sold the ticket to. And I said, sorry, mate, how much did you buy your ticket for? Do you know what he said? £220. £220. I sold the guy the ticket for face value. Do you know what? There's people out there. Do you know there's greed, there's fraudsters, there's all these people. Do you know what? I care for Man United fans. I care. I know about our history. I know what we've been through as a football club. I care about our football club, and I care about our fans. And when he came up to me and I said, look, I want to go and see Man United, Real Madrid, and he had his son with him. You know, he goes, I've only got one ticket. I need one more ticket. Can you sell me this, that? And I said, oh, okay, mate. Okay, I'll sell you this ticket, 60, 70 pounds. Give me 70 pounds for it. Oh, yeah, mate, you're a legend. You're a legend. You're a legend. And he sold it for 220 pounds, guys. These things happen at Old Trafford. When you get off the tram at Manchester at Old Trafford, you know, you go past the cricket ground, you see touts everywhere with their hands in their pockets, tickets. You see them everywhere. You have to be very, very careful, guys. Absolutely very careful. I had a season ticket for a number of years. I had a few years, but I gave it up, obviously, you know, because I'm in the Middle East now. But I was behind the goal in the Stretford end. But yeah, you know, it happens all the time. You have to be really careful. I'm sorry, Brian, that happened to you. City getting relegated, absolutely brilliant. That is what we want to hear. That's the positive noises we want to hear, Andy. That's all. City aren't big in the UK, but I think they have a sizable fan base in Americas, India, East Asia, etc. No, they don't. I'm in the Middle East. Do you know what? This is the home. I'm in bath time. I'm in the home of Abu Dhabi. I'm in Abu Dhabi, right? Abu Dhabi purchased Manchester City. They have a Manchester City megastore, right? In Yas Island, right? It's empty. It's always empty. There's no one in there. There's no one in there. There's no one in there. There's never anyone in there. They promote them and promote them. You don't see Man City shirts. The only people who support Manchester City are those guys who started supporting them after they were purchased, of course, purchased fans, you know, glory hunters and all that. I mean, if Man City get relegated, I'm very interested to know who will still carry on supporting them. Who's going to carry on supporting Man City? You'll see all those guys transfer to Chelsea, you know, transfer to Liverpool. You'll see them. Don't worry about that. I got receipts. Deep fake. Like all United fans, I want a successful club. Truly, Ten Hag will deliver a successful club. I do as well, deep fake. I do as well. I believe that after this international break, we play 4 very, very big games. Very big games. And I believe that, you know, if we do well in those games, you know what, a lot of positivity will come back. You know, we'll start believing a little bit more again. And that's what we should be, of course. We should give our full backing. Of course, Erik Ten Hag said Ugarte will not play for weeks or even months. But Ugarte himself said he's ready to go. I think he's just playing mind games, I think he's just playing mind games. I just think that Erik Ten Hag doesn't know what he's saying sometimes. This is one, if I was going to criticise him about anything, that is one thing I would do. I would criticise him about. He needs to just keep it simple in a press conference. Don't say too much. And most of all, tell the truth. You know what I mean? If the team plays badly, tell the truth. Absolutely, so 100% support. If Man United leave the league would die. Absolutely, the league would die. It would take a lot out of football. Absolutely. Guys, it's been magnificent. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's been a fantastic show. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined me. I said never. What? What? Deep fake? Let me have a look. Like all United, I want to say, I truly be Ten Hag. Oh, no, look, listen, deep fake. Listen. You've gone down in my estimation, you have. Down in my estimation. It's our opinion. At the end of the day, never say never. As I say, never say never, guys. Never say never. At the end of the day, who knows what can happen? I've seen things. Things can happen. Enjoy it, guys. You absolute legends. Deep fake, much love to you. Everyone who's joined the stream, late or early, it means a lot, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you. I try and read out every single one of your tweets, your messages. I got a sore throat every day. I get a sore throat. Top Red, big up, Brian. You are the Top Red. Thank you so much for joining the stream as usual, guys. Whoa, it's been a fantastic show. It's flown by. I can't wait to see you again tomorrow for Breaking Dawn, guys. Absolutely, it's going to be brilliant. Hopefully, we get some good news for a change. You know, it is the international break. Not much is going to happen, of course. But what I would say to you guys, right? Don't go over the top. Just keep believing. Believe in this team. We will get there. By hook or by crook, Man United will get to where we need to go, guys. They will get to do longer streams. Deep fake, it's 1 hour. It's 1 hour. I was told last week, deep fake, that I don't do long enough shows. That I don't do, my shows are too long, sorry. My shows are too long. But I was told my shows are way too long, guys. I might do another show, though. Like, I might create another show a bit later on. Like, I might do a later show. Because I'm in the Middle East, I'm 3 hours ahead, deep fake. So, you know, 2 hours from Central Europe. But so, you know, it's hard for me to do late streams, but of course. But I will try and add another one on the roster. I'll try and do another show. If you have any ideas, guys, let me know. United for life. At the end of the day, big up Brian. United for life. Do longer streams. But thank you, Deep Fate. Don't forget to join me on time, guys. On time. I'll be here, guys. You absolute legends you are. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you again tomorrow for Breaking Dawn. If nothing else breaks, of course. You know Man United. something always can break. You never know what's around the corner with this great football club. United for life, Randy. Absolutely. We will never die. Leave the haters over there, because we are the biggest club and we always will be the biggest club in England. Take it easy, guys. Peace.